best part about summer is all those glorious picnics that one gets invited to. May it be a picnic in a park or by a waterfall. These picnics are what makes summer truly bearable. One such picnic that we often enjoy going for as a family is a potluck picnic where everybody brings in one dish. There is umpteen number of white wine spritzers to balance out the heat and keep you well hydrated. During this time, one of my famous creations is my chicken pot pies, which work really well. Take it in a basket and you're ready for a picnic anywhere. Let's get to creating it. Chicken pot pies always have a puff dough that goes encased all around, but the trick to an efficient pot pie is all in the stuffing. Create a highly flavorful one, whether it is vegetables or like I'm doing chicken. So out here into my cast iron, I've got 100 grams of herb butter, just going in and allowing it to melt. And as it melts, we're going to add all the flavorings that makes this a decadent chicken pot pie. While the herb butter melts, laced with the scents of oregano in it. Now, if you do not have herb butter, just use normal butter with an overload of dehydrated oregano. Into that goes 6 freshly cut red chilies, roughly minced. You just want the flavor to balance out that sharp sense of the oregano, along with 8 cloves of garlic, finely minced as well. Just allow this to steep, stain, and enjoy the sense that this brings. Sheer heavenly bliss. With all the flavors, that's the primary flavors intact, in goes 1.5-inch piece of ginger just to balance out that heat, scenting it through and through, along with 4 leeks finely shredded. We're just going to allow the leeks to saute till they get that lush green translucence, and we get to adding the chicken. While the leeks saute and get a bit of the translucence, out here I've got 1 chicken. What I've done is I've taken a whole chicken and I've put it into a stock pot with some water, some bay leaf, some peppercorns and some onions. Just brought it to a boil. Allowed the chicken to cook through and through. Shredded it. Put it into my blitzer and just given it a blitz or 2 till it's finely minced. Very rough, very coarse, but works really well. So with that done, I'm just going to dump that entire mix in and allow it to saute. While the chicken absorbs all the flavors along with the leeks, the red chili, the ginger, garlic and that herb butter, just bringing it all together. You need to keep it a little dry so that it stuffs well into the pastry casing. So a quick saute, a quick stir fry into this, and finally in goes. Now you can add a white sauce, very tedious, very glucky, and the heat doesn't really permit you to do that. So I'm going further shortcut and just adding in 200 grams of some decadent cream cheese. This works really well and you do not need to even season when you have this through and through. Like I said, while you definitely do not need to add in any salt because you have the cream cheese that is salty and your chicken has been boiled in some salted water as well, you need something to break this overall creaminess, and that is with some freshly milled black pepper. So a generous sprinkling of it, giving you the heat and at the same time balancing all the flavors out. A quick stir and it's time to garnish. 2 minutes of allowing this to cook and everything has mixed really well. It's time now to garnish it with some flat leaf parsley. So about 2.5 tablespoons of flat leaf parsley going on top. You switch off the flame, give it a quick stir and allow this to come down to room temperature. In the meantime, it's all about rolling that puff pastry. Now, puff pastry, if you go to my videos on basics, you'll actually see how to create a puff pastry at home. And don't forget to hit on the bell icon and subscribe to my channel for many more of these easy to create food hacks. It's much easier when you roll puff pastry straight on your cooking counter. to about half-centimeter thickness, and out here I've got two ring cutters, one a little larger for the depth of the bowl and the other for that gorgeous lid on top. So 30 pot pies for a picnic, and I'm just going to get to cutting them. With the 30 larger ring cutters done, now comes the covering on top. Roll them slightly finer so that you get the flaky texture of it and get 30 rings ready to go on top. Now all you need to do is the beautiful tart mold, put the larger ring in and just seal it so you get the perfect ridges on the outside. If the dough is a little too soft, don't be alarmed, because after you fill it and put the casing on top, you have to chill this dough again for a good 20 to 30 minutes before putting it bang into a hot oven. 1 down, 29 to go. While the stuffing has chilled really well, and a hack out here is just take it, let it come to room temperature and chill it in the fridge. So a tablespoon of this stuffing goes right in the center. I'm going to put a little more because what's a pot pie without an overload of this filling? Just smash it down and get to filling all the others. Stuff it right into the nooks and crannies of the interior so that it's bursting with flavor, and get to the next one. Now, a quick check is extremely important to ensure that the filling is of the right amount right inside. With these done, it's time to give it an egg wash all around and on top so that the casing just nestles beautifully. So a quick egg wash. 2 eggs just beaten up, seasoned with salt and pepper is what gives you this egg wash. So a light brush right around the edges, enabling the covering to stick gorgeously well, and this goes into the refrigerator to chill. The covering nestles on top. Just give it a little press so the egg helps in binding the two together. A final egg wash right on top, and this gives it that gorgeous golden brown color. So a lovely egg wash before we chill this. Chilling this for a good 30 minutes, and in the meantime let's get to preheating that oven to 220 degrees Celsius. So we want the oven to be hot and let the dough straight out of the fridge go straight into the oven. What's a picnic without a picnic hamper? So while the basket is ready, it's now time to take the dough straight out of the fridge and put it bang into the oven. At 220, in this goes for a good 20 minutes to bake to perfection. Now, while I do enjoy the puffs having a perfect golden brown color on top, I allow them to nestle a minute or two longer just so that they have that glorious coloring on top. These are ready. All you need to do is let them sit for 4 to 5 minutes before putting it into my picnic hamper, and off I go for my picnic. Now, while these pot pies are perfect to enjoy hot, they work really well at room temperature and even better when cold. It's perfect meal to enjoy for a picnic bang in the middle of nature. While I go and enjoy the picnic, don't forget to share loads of love by hitting on the like button. And as I always say, don't forget to subscribe.